Hey, what's up guys? This is your boy Travis back again here at Big Boy Toy Reviews, and today we are taking a look at SH Figuarts Nezuko from Demon Slayer. Obviously I haven't taken her out the box yet, but since it's such a small box, and I mean it's a SH Figuarts box, like there's not really anything special about it. Now the background is nice. Kind of matches her little kimono or whatever it's called. But yeah, that's it for the box. Let's go ahead and pull her out the box and we can get a better look at her. Alrighty, and here she is out of her box, and she looks like Nezuko. I see they went with plastic instead of cloth for her, at least the bottom of her kimono. Then we got the typical cut up pieces when it comes to jackets and stuff that SH Figuarts likes to do. I can't stand that. Now I do know that there is a custom soft goods piece that was made for her. So I know they did make, there's a customizer that has made some soft pieces for them. I might run out and get those. I had thought about it, then I forgot about it. I had planned on doing it before the figure came in, but I forgot. And so now I need to figure out who that is again. And even if I don't change, even if I end up not changing them, I want to at least have the pieces to be able to, just in case. I already have the Buzz Mod version of her, which you'll see that comparison in a little bit. But so I don't, and that one is all cloth, and so I don't really have a need for a cloth version of the, or a cloth kimono or jacket for this version of her. But it is nice. It would be nice to have, I would say, just in case I decide to sell my Buzz Mod or something. I probably won't, because the Buzz Mod is really good and it has some features that this one doesn't have. But anyway, let's go ahead and get a closer look at her so you can see the face is done really nicely. She has her little mouth blocker thing there. The paint for her, I don't know, her sash is done really, really nicely. I don't see any issues with that. That is immaculate. The paint all over her kimono is very nicely done. I want to say these were at least lined in some black, like to bring it out more, or at least it was, like in the anime, it was at least some shading to bring out the design in her kimono more. I think these lines should be black, or at least a darker color than just her kimono color. I could be wrong. I think she was supposed to have at least some dry brushing or something here. There's no dry brushing, there's no anything. It's just paint, which is fine, but SH Figuarts they just refuse to put any shading on anything these days. They seem to be random with what they decide to put shading in, and it'll be a random figure that few people want. I do like the way that the orange is in her hair. That looks really, really good. Then we got her little socky things here. I don't know what those are called, but I'm gonna just go ahead and call them socks. And then we got her sandals, also painted very nicely. No issues there. I do think I have a leg that is slightly longer than the other. I could be tripping, but I don't think I am. I think this right leg is slightly longer than my left leg here. So that kind of sucks. I don't know if I can push this in. I was able to push it in a little bit, I think. Let's see if we even that out. I think that looks better. Looks like I was able to push that peg in a little bit and get it a little bit more even. Then you can see the claws on her fingernails. But I really, really like the way they did the hair. It's a relatively soft plastic. She is suffering from the same issue as the Buzz Mod, where they didn't allow enough articulation in her hair for this to go up. So you'll see in the articulation section where this is going to hinder the head movement for sure. But I do really like the way the face looks. But yeah, it's all sculpted, mostly sculpted plastic. So there's not a whole lot of things to talk about here. She does have a little bow, I guess, on her hair. I don't know if that's a bow or a flower. I don't remember. That's it for the figure. That's it for the aesthetics anyway. She looks okay. She looks like herself. She looks like she should look. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to accessories. Alrighty, so she does get 2 of these like clawing attacking hands. Yeah, but she gets 2 of these. Most of the stuff, if I just show you one, it's gonna be because there's 2 of them. Try to use this instead. She's so small that there's not really much detail in her hands. Then she gets a fist hand, and you can see the claws in that as well. So that looks all right. Now, I do like this feature. I think this is her holding her brother's hand, I believe. I think that hand is way too tan for the actual SH Figuart figure. So maybe this isn't his hand, but I think it's supposed to be. Then faces, we get this smiling happy face, and you can see her fangs or whatever in it. So it's kind of weird, but I think she always has the fangs no matter what, right? I do really like this face. This is like her clueless face. I've seen her make this face many a times in Demon Slayer. Then she gets a shocked face, a shocked sad face. I don't know what this is supposed to be. She gets that face. It looks good, but I don't know how I feel about the mouth area, to be honest with you. It kind of looks like it's sticking out a little bit. That's not a tongue, that's supposed to be the back of her mouth, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And then she gets a somewhat, maybe a neutral face. She doesn't really look all that angry, but it looks like she might be investigating something or might be about to get angry in a second. But it's very neutral, so I'm just gonna call this a neutral face. And then finally, she gets her angry face with the veins actually sculpted in it. That's nice that they are sculpted there. But this is the last face. She doesn't come with like an angry screaming face, which is unfortunate. The Buzz mod does come with that face. And then she gets like her kneeling piece, I guess you can call this, but it is one big chunk. And it's not articulated at all. I guess you gotta disconnect her knees and her torso to get into this pose. But I guess that's fine. But that's it for accessories. The cloth kimono bottom would have probably solved a lot of issues and not need to actually have this piece. So if they had just gave her soft goods, we wouldn't need this piece. So I don't remember how much she cost, so it is what it is. This is what we get. But anyway, that is it for accessories. So she doesn't come with a whole lot at all compared to Tanjiro. I finally figured out what finally remembered what his name is. It's Tanjiro, her brother. So I was saying, anyway, moving on to articulation, which if you've been watching my videos for any time, you know that's usually my next move. So these can turn and I would assume this is either it's supposed to be on a hinge joint, but you're not gonna get much out of it other than the spinning. At least it's covered up, but they don't really have any angry faces for her or anything, so she doesn't really have any action faces on this release. So I guess they didn't really think that she needed to move her head up that much. Anyway, trying to move her head up, it ain't going. You're not gonna get anything out of that. It just ain't going. Down, you can look down, so that's not too bad. Side to side, a little tough because of the hair, but it is there. Bars. The shoulders can get way past horizontal. I do like that. We do have a spinnerooski dooski on the shoulders. So she can spin that all the way around. A true bicep swivel. And then only about 90 degrees on this elbow bend, even though it's supposed to be a double, I think. Maybe a little bit past 90. Maybe a smidget past 90 on that elbow, but torso, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, then she has the ball hinge wrist. Forgot to mention that. You can't really see them. There we go, ball hinge wrist. And then for the torso, I would imagine there's not a whole lot going on here. So moving back, oh, well that does separate berries. Oh, she has some, what is this? I think she has the same weird gimmick that Tanjiro had. So you can expand their diaphragm joint, and I guess this is how you get most of the forward and back motion. Let's see if I can actually pull that and pull back. Yeah, you can do it, but you're gonna have a gigantic gap here, which you're definitely not gonna want, obviously. So that's not great. Side to side is okay. I mean, it's almost nothing once you push it back down in there. There is a twist there though, at least. It's a nice twist. She does get a twist at the waist. Crunching in the waist is there. Okay, her hair is gonna keep falling off on me, it seems. Crunching in the waist is kind of there. Obviously, you're gonna have to get most of that forward movement from pulling that up. Until you do get further forward, it is functional, but you are gonna get a lot of gapping there. Forgot about this on her coat. She does have ball hinges on her coat, so these can move up and down, each one of these pieces, and they can spin. But yeah, you're gonna get that gapping if you use it, but I mean, if you wanna pose her like that, I guess you don't really need to have the back showing. Her legs are basically immobile because of her kimono, but there are some pieces here that are on hinges. You can get it up, but getting it out in the splits, it's gonna be tough. If she can even do the splits. Can she do the splits? No, I can't get her to do the splits. That's about as far of a split as she can do. And then there is a slight thigh swivel there in the waist. Kicking up. For an agile character, it's not looking too good with this articulation. She can get to parallel at least. Was that a single jointed knee? It is. It kind of acts like a double jointed knee, but I think it's just a single hinge. You can barely get past 90 there. You can get past 90, but it's not quite all the way past 90. That is also unfortunate. Do you at least get a sock swivel? No sock swivel. You can hinge up on the ankle that far, down that far, and you obviously can spin. And then you got that toe or ankle rocker. And she does have a toe hinge. So somewhat limited on this character because of her kimono. I pretty much expected that. They should probably do a more dynamic version of this character because she is super agile and she does help Tanjiro fight. So it's odd that she didn't come with any super angry. Oh, this spins too for some reason at the elbow. That's interesting. Can you get more? But anyway, let's move on to comparisons. And here she is standing next to herself in different versions. So unfortunately, the SH Figuarts didn't come with any like these really teeth gritting faces. Like, all right, it took me forever to get her to stand up straight. So she is slightly shorter than the SH Figuarts version. Obviously, the advancing version is going to be taller because she's like in her 20s here, and I think she's like 15 or something here. But you can see they have the dark lining in the Buzzmod version, and the thing is like you can like either version. Really, to be honest with you, like this one's good for what it is, but this one's good for what it is too. The difference is obviously is that this one is wholly overpriced and this one isn't. So that's really what your decision is going to be. How much do you want to pay for something? But I was getting these before this was announced, so I already had Buzzmods. I already had Buzzmods in my collection, so it is what it is. I didn't have this one yet, but I did have her. But anyway, yeah, they do have a soft goods version of this one. Well, not a version, but a third-party person or a customizer, I forget who it is, did make a cloth kimono and jacket for her to wear. We'll see. This one, I like this one. It's kind of a pain in the ass to pose though. Not really, it's just the shifting. I don't know. I don't need to get into that because this review isn't about this one. But anyway, that's what she looks like with them. And then here she is standing next to her brother, Tanjiro. We got the Buzzmod Tanjiro and then the SH Figuarts Tanjiro. I have always said I think the Buzzmod Tanjiro is way too short. And then this one I think is just about the right height. And then finally here she is next to the Buzzmod Mitsuri, the Love Hashira, and then we have the SH Figuarts Rainbow Mika. Obviously Rainbow Mika is going to tower over them. This height, I don't think it's right. I think she's actually too tall. I was watching, what's that, the Swordsman arc, I think it was, that she was in. Swordsman Village arc. Yeah, I think she was in a Swordsman Village arc with her. And so this comparison is a good comparison, but I think Nezuko is too short in this one here. But anyway, that's it for comparisons. Now let's get to my final thoughts. Alrighty, so for my final thoughts, she's all right. She definitely will benefit from the third party skirt, soft goods, or not third party, custom soft goods. She would definitely benefit from that more than I would say Tanjiro would. She's just kind of a pain in the ass to pose around, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of this figure. The funness of it is just not there, if you ask my opinion. And it really is ruined because of the plastic skirt piece and the plastic jacket. Like, they just kind of ruin it on figures like this when they give them plastic dresses and stuff like that when they need to be mobile. It's just annoying. So it's unfortunate. We'll see. I might mess around and get it. I probably will, just for the simple fact that I just don't like this. Like this, taking pieces apart like this. If I'm gonna do this, if they're gonna make it, if they're gonna give you the ability to have to do all this to get those legs on, because that's what you have to do to get those legs on, then you might as well throw some soft goods in there so we can just replace the whole thing. You know, if you want to you should give people choices. If that's the case, if you're gonna go through all this, you didn't even need to make this leg piece. You didn't even need that. You could have just threw in soft goods, and we could have just replaced it like that without having to I guess mold more plastic in order to create a whole nother piece to be sitting like this. Then she doesn't really get any angry, teeth gritting faces. You can take this thing off here, the little muzzle thing. You can take that off, and you can take that off and put it on the other faces if you need to. So that's cool, I guess, but it's kind of disappointing. This is kind of a disappointing figure. Compared to Tanjiro, he's like leagues better than she is in engineering, in just general presence. And it's unfortunate. Like, SH Figuarts is so iffy and sometimey. They can never be consistent, and they're always switching up their engineering for whatever reason. Anyway, that's it for the review. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.